Hello, everybody, and welcome to Misfits Unmasked. I'm your host, Nano. Today I'm joined by Xuhn and Steinarr.
Hello there.
Introduce yourselves. Players of now Ambrose and the Silver Mop. How are you two doing this evening?
Well, technically, I'm both Ambrose and Puddle Boy.
Okay, yeah. Fair
I
enough.
had Puddle Boy for a while too. I would say that I was Puddle Boy.
Are deep down, are we all Puddle Boy?
I think a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You know, I think we should follow that. You screw the rest of the question. Okay. I'll give you the same courtesy I asked last week. How do you guys want to start off the questioning? Do you want to just jump right into a big one, or do you want to start off with something a little bit more open-ended?
Hit us hard and hit us fast.
Not the right thing to say, but yes, let's do that.
And I do have a question. Is it going to be just Ambrose questions here, or is it going to be both?
What do you mean? There's no Jacob questions.
All right, that's fine.
Oh wait, there are Jacob questions.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, then I'll just ask this one. There we go. Knowing that the Shade knows whatever Ambrose knows, are there any worries about unnecessary secrets being kept from each other, with Ambrose being Ambrose in the situation, and the Silver Mop being particularly honest and an open person? Are you perhaps more interested to see how your character plays the situation out?
Oh boy. Well, the thing is, Ambrose doesn't really have anything to hide. Not anymore. Ever since he traveled to the Silent Realm and had his adventure over there, the only thing that in that realm that he might speak less of is back when he actually managed to jump from one layer to another layer during his adventure. So he was actually on the actual spirit layer rather than the Silent Realm, which is basically just a prison for
Shades.
Things that are worse than hell.
Yes, they suck.
Yes.
I think it's also more so like, do you think Ambrose will hold anything that could be detrimental to the party if the Shade knows it?
He definitely knows the situation he just put this realm into by bringing his Shade back with him. So he's definitely going to play along and not really hide anything.
You screwed us, Ambrose. You really did.
He did. He's alive, and he knows more about him than he did before, so he doesn't care.
I'm glad.
What does the
really
Mop have to say about this? Old honest Mop.
I'm not really sure. This is great. Well, I mean, I try not to since he just showed up, I feel like we've had a lot of stress to deal with the Shade and whatnot. And I think the Mop tries to not think about the problems that will happen. Or try not to think about the Shade at the moment. So I don't think I've really thought about, what he knows and what Ambrose.
So there's no distrust between the Mop and Ambrose right now?
No. He sucks, though. Well, yeah, he does suck.
Any comments on that, Xuhn?
No, Ambrose, he screwed up. He knows he screwed up. He's definitely expecting a lot more of a punishment after, it's all more settled down. But he knows everybody's mad at him. It's just he went through his own revelation about who he is. So he's more relieved than he is worried at the moment.
To be honest, Mop's not really mad at Ambrose, but he wasn't at first. He was happy for you finding, help trying to find your way. But once Shambros showed up, call him Shambros. It was.
Do you have any relation to Shamu from SeaWorld?
Oh yes, he's actually Shamu.
Yeah,
he went through the same revelation that Ambrose went through.
That's terrifying.
After all that, I think there's going to be some specific talks, but not really a punishment per se from Mop. He's too kind of a person to be angry at his team.
We've been to hell and back together.
Yeah, that's true.
That is fair enough. Okay. Then I will ask the question at the top of the list now. That also goes in the exact same vein. What was your favorite secret to keep from or reveal to the rest of the cast? So now a player trust instead of character.
See, that is a hard thing to answer for me because both Daniel and Jacob, they both have been relatively open with the party. There hasn't really been anything that they've kept specifically from the party.
I mean, there have been secrets.
There's been secrets, but none that have really stood out as like huge.
Yeah, eventually they all get revealed.
I think more so like, well, yeah, even if they did get revealed, like player secrets that you had it to your character, like,
got it,
of course.
The entire adventure in the Silent Realm. The entire adventure. Oh my god, I wanted to just scream. There was a time when I was working the haunted house, I was ranting to people there. I was just like, this is what was happening. Good. It was good.
Are you sitting at the counter at the checkout lane at the grocery store? Just like gotta tell anyone you could.
As I'm like ringing out their groceries, just be like, so anyways, I played D&D, right? So I have this character. He's basically dead, but not actually dead.
Xuhn, what about the time where Daniel didn't tell about Freddy? Not even Ian or Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
See, he had his reasonings for that. He
tell me about it.
I know. Daniel, he wanted to keep his lives separate. He knew that Freddy knew who he was, and he was aware of that. But he didn't want to bring his personal relationship into his work relationship. And he wanted to just kind of have that part of him that felt relatively normal, because that's not something he's ever had before in his life. Nothing like this has ever happened to him. And he is experiencing this and he wants to keep it. And he had a feeling that if Ian and the rest of the motley crew barged into that life, it was only a matter of time before it got shaky and fell apart.
I mean, it did get pretty shaky.
It did get pretty shaky. And guess what? It almost fell apart. And who knows? I haven't actually talked to him since he's been back.
That's true. That's going to be very stressful for you. I'm excited to see that, stressful. Like a lot. Oh. I want to. I think we should. First thing when we come back is
fly back from Cook Air and just be like, hey,
forget what we're doing there. Go there and just have you talk to Freddy. Have a good time. Candlelit dinner.
No. Fly Freddy into the conflict zone.
There it is.
Rolling initiative. Xuhn is RPing between Ambrose and
So you guys got it. You've lasted this long without me. I gotta take care of it.
So anyways, Freddy, how's it going?
Is there any good shows going on? I haven't had a chance to watch TV.
Been gone for a good second.
And then we have the very honest Mop, but Steinarr, are there any secrets that you as a player kept from the rest of the party while playing Mop that were any good? Or is there anything right now you want to
See, I feel like there are secrets. It's just like when I think of him, he's obviously he's honest. He never really does keep, or I never really do try to keep secrets, because I like to talk about my character. Whatever it would be like nothing like too groundbreaking. It was more of just like how the Mop's feeling at like that current situation, because he usually hides that kind of thing. He always acts like he doesn't.
What about the whole path of the Silver Heart? Like, he's been exploring a lot about that, but the party doesn't actually know too much about it.
That's true, but that's also because even though he's figuring it out, he still doesn't know what the heck's going on. Like, he just learned that it's not really, it's more of a secret that he's trying to unravel as well, so he doesn't know like anything to like tell the other players.
So does he want to keep the rest of the party out of it until he figures it out, or is he just passively doing that because of his lack of knowledge?
He usually does keep the party out of it because I mean it's more of just like his thing to deal with, and he also tries to do it like I mean he hasn't had a chance to like search through it some more since what we were doing right now. But you know, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that are about to be revealed, I guess, at some point, and I'm excited. And I'll probably keep it a secret for a while.
Oh, and then Xuhn, I didn't actually get your favorite though. Which was your favorite reveal, or one you're currently keeping?
It had to do with the.
Oh, we can mute Steinarr. Don't let me know.
It had to do with the whole trip into the Silent Realm. One of my favorite moments in the Silent Realm. I don't think I've explained exactly how it went down, but you know, this is a special. I might as well talk about it a little bit more. After Daniel, well, it's kind of Ambrose at the time, had acquired Shambros, or his shade, he traveled to the spectral realm, which I can't remember which layer that is, but he traveled to the ghost layer, and he went back into Moreau's Industries, like that compound that we raided. He went back into that, and there were ghosts everywhere, like everywhere, packed in every single room. And he had eventually ran into Elias himself, and that was like one of the biggest things, because it's like, last time I saw you, I snapped your neck.
A little bit awkward.
This time he like ran up to Daniel and he tried to tackle him and was just like, "You did this to me." He was like angry, and then Daniel was just like, sick him, and sent his shade, and like the shade slammed him into the wall, and like, I gotta beat him up. And then I learned so much about the DE strand. I learned more about everything that was confusing when we were in there, and it was great. It was great. I just liked interacting with Elias again, kicking the crap out of him, interviewing him.
you had to give back for seconds. It's a little bit of dessert. And then Steinarr, what was your favorite reveal though?
Favorite reveal. I can't really think of anything at the moment. Just of like, you know, mop secrets, or just kind of like any.
Just any. I guess if you want to expand into another one, or how Mop responded to it, but like any big emotional secret Mop kept, or any secret in general, which one was like your favorite to do as a player?
These are some good questions.
He started smiling when he said that.
I really need to write notes down because I never remember anything. Would you help me out here? What do you think I would be? What do you think I would have?
Here, there's one recommended. What about Porley trying to keep his identity to his boyfriend Seamus' secret, or Seamus? Sorry,
when Seamus didn't know that you were the mob, but he despised the mob.
That wasn't even a secret. Like, I was so bad at keeping it.
Yeah, he basically knew the whole time, didn't he? Or did he recently find out? And just
I feel like Mop only has one personality.
It was like, because it was kind of just since it happened, so like it doesn't feel like it, but it happened quite a bit ago that I figured out that he already knew. So it's just kind of like I was planning on keeping that secret way longer, but once he figured out that, you know what, that was pretty much my favorite secret. It was pretty great.
What do you mean he was planning on keeping that secret? You were trying to break up with him.
Yeah, and the secret would have stayed. All right. He knew that he knew who I was when I was trying to break up with him. And it went the other direction though. So, you know, I'm just scared because okay, now here's the theory I got. I like Seamus a lot, but they had to have done something when he got captured by Elias. And I'm scared that there's going to be at least something like that's very weird, because I mean they did something to Freddy.
Oh yeah, they made him extremely buff and much taller, and with his eyes now he sees in 4D.
He got upgraded.
Let's say fancy stuff, and like engrammed Elias's personality onto Seamus, and you know, one day he's gonna wake up in the sleeper.
That's
sorry for writing. I know your entire plot line, but
you probably should like not like, even if that was something he was thinking about, don't give me the ideas. That's something. Oh my god.
You know, we'll put a little bookmark on this, and you know, whenever I have you guys back on after that reveal happens, we'll see how you feel about it.
Okay, if it happens. I mean, it's either that or he's gonna get hurt, and then Mop's gonna be sad. but that one's the easy one.
Purple wrote that down.
You already wrote it down.
Anyway, hey, let's we have a question by Caboodle, our favorite shipper here. What is your favorite thing about your character's significant other?
We'll start with you. I've started every time. Let's start with you, Steinarr. Just
the fact that I really like. I've never done that like a relationship like in D&D before. Like trying to like, I created that character, and my favorite part is that like it went completely different from like what I thought the character was. I think like I made like a rough draft of him, and then Purple made him like such a different character, something that I like way more and I feel way more connected to as Mop.
Remind me to ask you about that rough draft, because I actually want to get something on that.
I can send you like the stuff that I wrote down. I mainly did I write? I forget it. But I think my favorite thing is just like Seamus is pretty like helpful to Mop whenever he's down on his luck, and he also drinks a lot. He's an alcoholic, but he never gets drunk, except sometimes because he's Irish.
Oh,
all right, I started. Go ahead.
All right, fine. So the thing is about Freddie is back when they started dating, and like as it progressed more, Daniel sort of used Freddie as his like moral compass in a way, because if you don't know this about Daniel's backstory, is that he was raised as a child assassin with Ian. And they recently learned that it was all staged, but he was still trained to be an assassin. It was to kill. Everything was to kill. And that mindset has always been ingrained in his head. Even when they were raiding that compound, the Elias Moreau's compound, he was going around and he was going to kill every single person he saw in there, other than the victims, of course. But as he's been dating Freddie, he's been thinking a lot more like Mop in some situations, where it's like, maybe I shouldn't just go and murder.
Yeah,
there's probably other ways around this, but
it's pretty easy.
But he isn't going to hesitate. If somebody's trying to kill him, he's gonna,
But you shouldn't though. But that's just Mop talking.
He's getting better at it. He's getting better at it.
Not enough. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, that's kind of off that. What would push Mop to kill Steinarr?
Bruh. He's already done it. He's already almost done it. And Xuhn knows this, kind of.
Yep.
So in like the first season where we didn't even like record it, Ashley, when we first ran into Ashley, she was controlled by one of the trigger demons, and had killed Puddle Boy. And by the time I got to him, he was dead, and I almost broke. So like, basically, if that were to happen to Seamus, that's probably what would happen. Maybe, but he's learned a lot more how to deal with like his emotions in the term of like he can't just like break out into anger. But you never know. It depends on like the situation.
Well, okay. So that's another point though. If Seamus were to die in front of Mop and Jacob was around, would he be able to talk him off of it? Sort of like how Sophia did for you and.
Most likely, I think that would be the case. But to be fair, when Jacob died, I would say in terms of like connection, he wasn't as connected to Jacob as he is to Seamus now.
Mm-hmm.
So if that were to happen, it would be way more traumatizing to him, and you probably could talk him down because you or Jacob could. But I really want to have that burst of anger for Mop too. It's a little secret of mine. I want to kill him.
I want to make him angry. They won't like him.
I want a bad boy Mop. I want him to be very angry.
For once, I want to make a mess.
I want to be even more traumatized.
I want to make he's like a 4-year-old. I want to make a mess, and I don't want to clean it up.
Oh, the Mop doesn't want to clean something up. Oh no.
He's gone too far.
Yeah.
Wait, he's killed an entire city. and he didn't clean it up.
He's gone off the deep end.
Okay, this next question is by Kier. Do you have a particular piece of art for your character that you like the best? We will throw, if you want to post them in the chat, we'll throw them in the video after.
Oh God, I don't even know if I have it on my computer right now. But
Let's see.
Well, for Jacob, I like this one the most.
Yes. Okay,
That's my favorite one for Jacob.
Tell me why, Xuhn.
Because when Jacob died, I put those X's over his eyes, and then that's just been the official art for him in my head, and that's just been my favorite thing in the world, is that he's dead. But he's not dead anymore. So
yeah, what about now that he's alive again?
Now he's alive again. I'm still going to keep that as he's dead, because technically his physical body only exists in the form of his new power weapon, which is a trident.
Pretty rad. I got a super weapon buddy. You know, I've got a lot of mop art. My favorite one was technically the first one I drew, but I can't find that. But that was only because like that was before I got really into drawing. Let's see. I guess my recent
a really cool one that I personally like is the one traded.
Trey.
Oh yeah, the one.
That one a lot. Like he got armored up a lot.
This one is my. I don't have the full version, but I do have the token version for Ambrose. I really love the art that Caro did. Moogles also made one, which was really good, and I enjoy heavily. But
very nice.
You know, I really need to organize my files more.
Yeah, Steinarr.
You know what? This one's my favorite.
Yeah.
That one.
Please tell me why that one.
It's going into great detail.
It's
we'll make sure to zoom in on it and everything. You know, it's okay, but why? Why? Please tell me every crucial detail of why, Steinarr. You're really gonna say this is your favorite?
You know, it's just like, you know, looking at it now, it's making me laugh. Well, okay, so this was kind of like a challenge. It was like draw your OC in a nice like dress or something like that. I didn't have like a female character that I could use, so I just put Mop in a maid outfit.
Nice.
I know it's not really like the fanciest of dresses, but you know, it's like, you know, a janitor, but a maid. They both
I really do commend how well you defended that. Like honestly, like I enjoyed the honesty out of that one.
Oh, yes,
I really like that drawing.
But I am gonna follow that up with a very well. Okay, this is a question for Steinarr, or it can be for Xuhn as well. But I think it's mainly aimed at Steinarr. You're about to enter a situation where Bossy, a flawed but not necessarily evil man, may try his best to kill you and your friends for reasons he may believe to be just. If it seems peace is not a possible outcome, have you come to any conclusions as to what the Silver Mop will do about the situation?
Yes, Steinarr, what would he do?
I mean, from what he's experienced,
I'm both gonna get that too, just because of that. You know,
if it's impossible to make peace, Ambrose will straight up try to kill the guy.
I mean,
what about
what it seems like is, he's all about pride, because I mean he's like the pride demon or something like that. And
desire demon of pride.
Yeah. So I like when I first fought, I didn't actually fight him. I tried to talk him down, but that didn't really work too well. But I was really good at hurting his pride, and the less that he has, I guess, not as strong. He doesn't get as strong. I guess I would just like fight him, hold him down until he, you know, he's at like, I don't really know how it works, but I'd try to just ruin his pride until we can actually like talk Mop to demon.
So you have a set series of insults. Are you just gonna try and roast him, basically?
I think that's the best course of action, and if we're gonna do that action, we're gonna have to pull out Ian for this one.
I could, yeah. Ian could do pretty well with that. I'm really good at
Judge, what? You got your butt kicked by a 119-year-old man.
Is Ian gonna start a cancel mob on Karyobasi with all his followers? Oh,
that
no.
would definitely do the trick. That would definitely do the trick. It would ruin his pride, and he would lose.
And then, since Ambrose is gonna go for the kill, what about our favorite puddle boy, or Jacob? Xuhn.
This is a fun predicament.
Proud of him.
Ever since Jacob died, he has been mostly trying to avoid conflict if at all possible. He doesn't go for like straight lethal attacks. He's mostly been going for like slows or stuns, and he'll always prioritize the surrounding area, like if there's civilians or anything, before he goes for any enemies in the center. So if he's put into the situation where it's either him or Karyobasi, he's probably just going to try and freeze him in a solid block of ice. But I think his mentality was sort of been affected by living inside of the mop's head for quite a while, that he doesn't want to go for the kill. But worst comes to worst, like if he is like on the brink of death or something like that, he'll go for the kill.
Has him experiencing death like swayed his view on killing?
A little bit, because the way it was described to me is that time works differently down in hell. That's something everybody knows. So I can't remember the exact time convergence, but I think it was like, it was a good couple of years that Jacob spent in hell when it wasn't even a year by the time they got down there and saved him.
Everywhere, every hellscape that Purple makes always has a time dilution to really make it worse for characters who get in there first.
Yeah, so the way it was corrupted, that he was a hero and he did good stuff, he was put into a really bad area of hell. So he defeats a bad guy for what? Following another bad guy? They're going to put him in a bad spot of hell for something that minuscule. He doesn't want to kill people.
Puddle Boy's my favorite.
That is a very fun take.
I'm so sad that he died.
He's alive now. Shut up.
I know, but like it was like you were just talking about it, and it was making me sad again because that's a very emotional part for me. I don't want to get into it.
I do want to ask this to Steinarr while we're still kind of on the subject of Jacob's death, even though it's not fully related. How differently do you think Mop would have turned out if he would have killed Ashley right there after like having one kill right there?
I never really thought about that. Like,
because I can kind of see Ashley as like a reminder of like not to kill.
Yeah. I mean, if he did it that time purposely, non can't. Well, I would say it's pretty can't, but he's accidentally killed a few times with strength. Whoops. But if he did it on purpose with the intent to kill because he genuinely hated that other person or something like that, he'd obviously just do it again because it's easier that way. I mean, like everyone else, he would probably be less happy he'd probably be it'd be easy to not like hide his emotions and then just kind of be a upset, brutish mop type thing.
Oh, I don't think I could even imagine a non-super like boisterous and happy mop.
Yeah, be like Batman, not less. It's that type of
He
thing.
goes from Superman to Batman.
Yeah, Batman but kill. Yeah,
Batman but kill. Fucking Batman kills. We all know it. It's just off screen.
He literally breaks him.
I mean, like in the Arkham Knight, slams his face into the
mentality of not kill. It's like borderlining at best. Because I remember there was a moment with like, I think it was Lazarus, that he's like, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. And then he lets a train just crash into him. It's like,
fair enough.
I mean, technically, he didn't kill him.
But he technically didn't kill. And then there's still the Joker there just trying to be like, living around. Just run around. He just needs to kill him. It's that easy.
Do what Daniel did. Snap his neck.
Snap the Joker's neck.
To follow it up, would he ever kill Manches?
Oh my god.
Yo, man, how's it going, Mob? Long
Don't
time no
even
see.
think, don't even. I don't even understand why I hate that character so much, but yeah, he would kill. For
What
sure.
the fuck?
100%.
That's the second time we've gotten Steinarr to get up and walk away.
Oh,
A bit, but no. Yes, I would do like you do like that. Man, Shiz, I hate you. The worst. No, but Mop wouldn't kill.
okay.
Probably not.
I'll let Steinarr off the hook after that. Xuhn, has your encounter with your shade given you any insight into Ian and Ashley's past, or maybe current relationships with their demons?
The shade isn't necessarily a demon, though.
They did say he
It's
was
a similar
demon.
relationship.
Yeah, they said he was somewhat of a demon.
I mean, because like, and I know it's Monday, but like Wayne's past and Greed are very similar. It's still the same, like, relationship, I would say.
I can't say that Ambrose has really learned much off of the shade. It like when he it was either Ambrose died down there or he agreed to have the shade protect him and help him get out, but he also added on how shades tick, how they work, what they are, and he learned that if he died, the shade died, but the shade also withheld that information that when they got back to the surface, that no longer was true. So he went to the surface with the thought process of, if everything falls to hell and we can't stop this shade, he was going to off himself. But now he knows he can't do that. So, I mean, I can't say there's anything that he's learned for Ian and Ashley, though.
And how about you as a player? Do you feel that like you see a little bit how they're playing now, or like how it kind of feels to have the wonderful DM Purple torture you with a outside presence that's constantly on?
Outside presence. The thing is, their presence was very inside. Mine is very outside.
It does what it wants, and it doesn't affect him, or it affects him on a... Yeah, that.
One thing that I am curious about is how Ian's Scourger demon would have held up against the Shade. Because I know that the Shade runs from fights that they know they can't win, but if he wasn't able to run and he was forced to fight a Scourger, I think he would lose.
DM?
So I think Ian had a worse situation there. But mine is kind of tormenting everything he knows and loves, so who knows?
I want to be honest. Okay. I'm really glad my character doesn't have to deal with that demon bull crap. Like, I made a character, like, here's all the demon stuff, and this is my stuff. Like, I don't have to deal with any of that, because it's like, it's stressful I've seen it, and I don't want to deal with it. But at the same time, I do, because I feel like it would be kind of fun. But for Mop, I'm very glad that I didn't have to deal with that.
Go on a fun thought experiment. What if he lost the Mop and had to turn to a demon to use the power to get Mop back?
Nope.
Would he do it?
Nope.
He knows.
I ain't dealing with demons. I ain't dealing with no demon.
What if that was the only way to get the Mop back?
Later. I was just gonna, go back to a regular mop and just become a regular janitor. That makes it easier.
For instance, Lyle or Wrath. No.
Oh, he's winning. Don't do it. It ain't worth it.
No.
No?
I feel like Mob's mindset isn't really set for any demon powers. See, if it were me, on the other hand, Steinarr, fuck yeah, I'd do it.
Wait, isn't Steinarr the Mop?
It's complicated.
Steinarr Stevenson is the Mop.
It's complicated. I have multiple Steinarrs.
I see. This Steinarr is better at hiding his identity as a Mop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'll figure you out. back on the topic of shades, do either of you feel like Ambrose's shade will be an isolated incident, or do you have any theories about whose / what shades can be released in the world, or maybe even plans to enter their lair?
Esmery. Sorry, that was
Esmery isn't in that session.
I know. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Now, I know for a fact that unless somebody enters that lair and brings the shade back out, he can't bring other shades to this lair. If he went back into that lair, he wouldn't be able to get back out. He needs someone from our lair to go in there and bring them out. So I don't think any more shades are going to come in at all. But an isolated incident,
No.
100% not. Because this guy could just teleport wherever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. He could just go there.
Almost instantly.
No, very instantly. I don't think there's any containing it. I just don't think that's possible.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be more shades. I don't know how, but I think it's going to happen. Like, because there's always multiple ways to, like, bring somebody out of, like, hell and stuff like that, you know? It's not just, like, one way to bring out a shade, like somebody going in and take him out. I'm sure there's, like, a freaking portal that you can open or whatever. And if we have to deal with multiple shades at once, I think we're screwed.
Well, as the person that went back in there and got the shades, I'm not ruling out the possibility of a portal 100%, because there were a couple of portals that Daniel had to go through to go from layer to layer.
Right.
So
I will say, as a character, someone who plays a character has access to the well, always keep in mind that rifts can be open between dimensions, like physical rifts. We don't know the rules of those.
One thing that I do know is that the shade cannot go through the portal from the third layer to our layer, because that's the whole reason why the shade didn't just like up and leave. The Silent Realm is a realm made as a prison to hold these things. So without someone coming in and getting them, I just don't think it's going to happen unless Ambrose manages to find a bunch of weak-willed people to go into that lair.
Just saying.
Do you think Ambrose goes in, or you think you think Shambrose being on the outside, he may be able to access something now? Prisons are always easier to enter than they are to exit.
Yeah, maybe, but if he does go back, I don't think he's coming back. So I think he's just going to have fun for a while. I don't think he has any big plans. It's just do whatever he feels like. Very spur of the moment.
Unless he has help, such as Thea.
I don't think so.
Or a certain spirit that you mentioned earlier that Shambrose can go into the spirit layer for. I think Elias would want to take revenge against Ambrose.
I mean,
keep going to use it.
That is interesting, because Elias is dead. He's very dead. He's already in the spirit world, like that spirit layer. I think that was the first layer. I don't see it possible for Elias to do that, because all of Elias's power came from his demon and his robotic parts. He was just a person when I met him. There was nothing special. In fact, he was quite weak. He was just a brain. He was
a weakling.
He was.
So, as the player both playing and closest to him, are there any worries, concerns, or hopes regarding Puddle Boy? That is the Puddle Boy question that I missed earlier.
Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out where this is going to go, because I don't intend on playing two characters forever. Especially when their voices are exactly the same and hard to differentiate. But
Puddle Boy voice rework win.
Well, the thing is, I've been trying to break up his voice a little bit more, because that was the way I was going to be like, this is Ambrose speaking, this is Jacob speaking. His voice was.
You could use a nice French accent.
Yeah, I'll give him a French accent. So there has been multiple times where Jacob has like very heavily considered after he's done helping here, he wanted to move out of Arbil. He wanted to leave the area, have a simple life, a normal life. And me as a player doesn't think that's going to happen because he's in the hero life. That's something that you can't just get out of. There's always going to be something, and there's going to be that ping in the back of his brain that's like, I gotta help. So I think he is going to eventually transition into a rescue and support hero rather than a frontline defense, sort of like what all of us are. So he might even go a hero because he won't be Puddle Boy anymore. He won't be working with the mob. So he might go through Ocean Man.
I've got a question though. For Puddle Boy, if he were to like not do the hero rescuing thing, where would he move away to?
That's the thing. He would just go.
Steinarr's tearing up, losing his friend again.
Bro, I hate it, but I'm just.
But he's alive this time. That's the thing.
I'm happier with that, but at the same time, but you gotta leave me.
And I'm pretty sure Jacob and Bob had a conversation about that at one point, and I feel like that affected his mindset, where he's probably not going to move.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, Steinarr, as playing Jacob's closest friend, how does it? What are your hopes for the character? Or we just heard Steinarr's, the mop's hopes for it. So what are your hopes for the character?
Honestly, I hope he dies because I really want those water powers back. They're really cool, and I'm very jealous that I lost them.
And your Puddle's luck.
Yeah, my Puddle's luck. That's so unfair. Why does he get the luck? I want it. No.
I earned it. I cried for that.
I was sad.
They're mine.
Not gonna lie, I am enjoying having Steinarr's luck.
It's pretty neat, to be honest.
Luck is a fun power. It really is.
Having that double roll, like if you mess up, you're just like, no, I want a better roll. But for me, I like Xuhn, you do a great job playing two characters at once, and I find it very interesting because it's funny when you mess up and you confuse the characters. What I was hoping, I know that we don't really have like the best healer, but I was hoping that you would stay as Puddle Boy again because it's really fun to have a partner. But I like Ambrose too because that storyline's going really interesting.
There is a good couple of abilities that I've gained from my exploration in the Silent Realm that I think I've already shown a couple of them with our combat sessions, but there's two of them specifically that I really want to use again, and I'm excited for that.
Well, I want to see them right now.
Back to Xuhn.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, let me just boot up real quick.
Jacob's promise to Neptune might play into where he'll end up and if he'll live.
Ooh. That is a question. That is definitely a question. He very much wants Neptune to have a physical form. That was the main reason why he wanted to give the trident to Neptune, because when he came back, he was in the same situation as Neptune, where he didn't have a physical body. He was made of water, and the water was shaped by the soul, and that's all he was. That's sort of the same situation with Neptune, except she never had a physical form, or if she did, she doesn't ever remember having one. She was experimented on in Laius's compounds and stuff, and he just has like this huge moral dilemma of he got this power, but he's not the only one that could have used it. He feels like Neptune probably would have been much better off with it, but if it's not possible for him to transfer it, or if it's too risky, then he's just going to find any solution that he can to help her get a physical form, even if that means working with Ambrose or Anarugi or finding some other way to get a physical form that isn't like robotic or artificial.
And to clarify for me and people who are just watching, what is the promise? Because I didn't get that.
Oh, the promise was when he picked up the trident, his body solidified into flesh. He gained organs. He gained all of that back. But because Neptune has never had that, he went out into the ocean and was just like, after I'm done using this power, I want you to have it. He wanted to give her the trident so that she could have a body.
I will say, if you were to give up that trident, I would say that you most likely will die as Jacob. But that's only because it seems like the soul, what I've learned is that it seems like the soul gets tied to it like 100%. And whenever you have to pass it down, the previous user usually dies.
It is a power weapon, but I think that's a mop exclusive thing because you've meshed with yours a lot more than Jacob has.
That's true.
Also, keep in mind, for that, it was very much phrased. Whenever Mop did die on Monday, it was he had become his personality had merged so much with the Mop, and his soul had merged so much with the Mop. When the Mop shattered, he shattered. Right. So it was kind of because of Steinarr's deep attachment to the Mop.
I'm just because like I don't think there was any other time when a power weapon, like to my knowledge, when a power weapon was passed down and the previous user lived past not having the Mop. I don't think there was ever a case for that yet.
Yeah, there are probably various means to get that body though. So good luck. But I will ask: would you as a player feel that to be a fitting end for Jacob if it were to kill him?
Like I said before, I don't think he would go for it if it was that risky because he knows the toll that it took on Mop and the party when he died. He doesn't want to put them through that again. That's also a good factor as to why he isn't going into combat and mostly rescue.
I don't know. Then this next question goes along with that. Steinarr, buddy, pal. How far is the Mop willing to go to make sure Jacob, also known as Puddle Boy, stays alive? Has he thought about using the ring death game or any more drastic measures?
To be honest, I don't know what that ring does, except for like call upon death.
That look cool.
I don't want to use it, and I also don't want to like bother Dunn. No.
Ambrose has to deal with the dog too.
Probably.
That was his responsibility.
What?
Shit.
So Ambrose, the same thing that happened with Mop is when he got the ring Death gave him. Ambrose was tasked with the Hellhounds, and there was a Hellhound that didn't come with us when we went back to Earth. When we went from Hell to Earth, the Hellhound just wasn't there. There was no Hellhound at all. So he was given the task of responsibility for it, but he didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, and we had to take care of it.
When he was in the Silent Realm, the Hellhound decided to show up. So he has to figure out what's going to happen with that.
Damn it! But to keep Jacob alive, I think, I mean, it's like when he put all of his effort into protecting like civilians. It seems like if he was on death, like he was about to die, and there were like he had to make a choice between Jacob and the civilians from getting like losing, probably might. Oh, that's really hard. I don't know. Like, 'cause he would have to choose like normally he would choose the civilians, but it's Jacob. I think he might have gone for Jacob. In that's how much he would want to protect his best friend. Forget about civilians. Not forget about them, but try to do like I mean, he would go for Jacob first, but then go for the civilians too. That or an inspired action just for both, Inspired actions are always the best.
I want to inspired action, split myself in two, and then save both of them.
Exactly. But yeah, no, he would go for that's top priority to him, protecting Jacob.
For Xuhn, how far would Jacob let Mop go to save him? Knowing how strong Mop's morals are, would he let Mop destroy the way he thinks, or change the way he thinks for himself?
Back to a situation in hell. a similar situation in a way, I guess. Mop was unconscious at the moment. When Ashley was about to kill Steinarr, or the mob, Jacob started to form around him to protect him, and he would have sacrificed his life if Ian didn't jump in front. But he would not be happy if Mop chose him over civilians. He's experienced death, and he would much rather have it happen to him again than somebody else. But he would not he would not try and let Mop save him over civilians.
Try and stop me.
It's not that he would try and it's
Big man.
I don't think he can, but after it's said and done, he would probably be very upset with you.
Yeah. He would take that. He would understand the consequences. I mean, he almost never puts civilians second type of thing. So that's just like, that's never going to happen. You're both not going to be dying at the same time. Because that would suck. And it would make me stressed out. I don't want to deal with that. No, I'm kidding.
Would Mop talk to Jophiel about it?
Probably not. It's like, he doesn't want to have like any Celestials like involved. Like, sure, like it seems like he's getting more and more tied with Celestials. I don't think he would want to be like, I don't think he relies on Jophiel too much yet.
So how do you two feel about Jophiel?
Us or characters?
Both?
Go for it.
That's great. Jophiel, Jacob doesn't really have as many quarrels with Jophiel. Ambrose doesn't trust Jophiel at all. Jacob doesn't really have any quarrels because he wasn't really around as much when he heard about Jophiel. So all he knows is that Jophiel has created these power weapons that saved him in a way. So he would probably lean a little bit more towards trusting. Ambrose, no.
Fuck that guy.
Me, on the other hand, Jophiel can take their shiny butt and go straight back up.
Okay, is that a Monday Knowledge Xuhn answer though?
That's a Xuhn answer, all right? Yes, it's heavily influenced by Monday, but I don't trust Jophiel. All right?
Fair enough.
Come on, they're not the same guy. They're good.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Good.
There is a little bit of information that Ambrose learned. Oh wait, no. Ambrose didn't learn this. This is something that Purple just shared with me that I'm not allowed to share with other people.
Ah, damn it! I knew it. I want to know now.
So I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Suddenly, he just gets disconnected from the call.
All right. I think I'm gonna do the opposite of what Xuhn did. This is a Steinarr answer, and then I'm gonna go into the Mop answer. I know a bit about the other session, like other information about Jophiel.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know enough about it. It still seems the same, and personally for me, I'm kind of like 50-50 because like I like to try and trust the NPCs, but we've gotten like just tossed around by every NPC we trust, one after the other. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know, maybe. And then Mop, I'd say Mop thinks Jophiel's a very good like help, but seeing that he doesn't really want to rely on any outside help. He feels like the whole like our party can actually deal with this kind of situation, even though we can't really. So he appreciates the help that Jophiel is offering, but politely declines, type of thing. He's like, I can do this on my own. I'm a man with muscles. I'm 10 feet tall now, thanks to Jophiel.
Good answer.
It's great. Another great point. Jophiel created the power weapons, so
That too.
I mean, I did make the point they're completely different. They also are very willing to take them away.
That's true. Very willing. I'm kind of spooked out about that part. Hate you, Purple.
I'm still curious
Anyway.
what Ambrose's golden bow is about.
Ooh.
It's just a
He
bow.
still has his golden bow that radiates heat, but it just hasn't come up in a while.
It's just a
bow with
spray
hand
paint.
warmers in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very with hand warmers in it.
Sort of like Seamus in a way. Seamus has unnaturally high body temperature for some reason. I guess that's just his power. But
It's hot.
bow is sort of the same way, where it's really hot. So I don't know. Maybe I should experiment a little bit more. See if there's a correlation between the two of them. See if Seamus wants to have a bow and arrow.
Maybe you're just attracted to the bow because you think it's hot.
I'm personally attracted to it because I'm
wait. If Seamus is the bow, are we gonna have the hottest power couple of power weapons?
power couple.
We need to give Freddy one then.
Yeah, the bow.
No, because
No.
if Seamus and then the Mop both have power weapons, it'd be the best power couple.
Yeah, that's a power couple.
That is a
See,
power couple.
That is
The thing is about
That is-
Freddy, because of Alliance,
permanent number one spot.
I'd get number one. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna need that bow next time. Just saying.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Another person I steal a power weapon from.
Well,
Freddy takes memory.
I kind of stole the
Try
trident.
purple.
That's true.
Ian wasn't worthy
You
because he's
do?
an ocean boy.
I tried helping him.
Xuhn, you hear what I said?
No.
Freddy takes misery.
Yeah, power couple.
I don't like it.
You know, let's just bring out Freddy Shade. That seems like a good idea.
That'll be a
That
good
is a power couple.
Now that's a
That is
power.
a power.
Except their personalities are going to be very opposite from each other.
That's true. Would it be
So,
wait, would it be a couple
This
or
is
would
going
it
to
be
be
like,
a very, very loud and angry shade. I don't think we want that shade.
Ambrose and Shreddy. Is that
Wasn't Freddy?
That's a good one. I think we're just gonna call all shades that start. They're just gonna start with the sh part.
Would technically Mop Shade be shop?
Shop or Steinarr.
Silver Shop?
Steinarr.
Silver shop.
The silver stop.
That's good.
Okay. Anyway,
Shashley.
next question. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna ask the next. What has been the most memorable fight or encounter you've come across season 3, and why?
3.
Oh god.
The one when I wasn't there. No, I'm kidding. That was the first episode. For me, I liked the Elias fight. That one was pretty great because it was like a straight up boss fight. Like we showed up on the top floor and then everything just gets destroyed and it's just kind of like a crater in the middle of like a battlefield. And then I go down on an ice elevator and then sit.
Really dangerous Tetris.
Yeah, and I remember sicking goose on him or something like that. It was a fun battle. I really liked that one a lot. A lot of preparation for that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Steinarr because that was like a crucial point to Daniel's character was fighting Elias Burrows. Unfortunately, though, it was also that fight and all that stuff kind of took place while I was out in Colorado. I think I missed the first half of the fight, but the second half I tuned in and I snapped his neck through text, I think. But it was definitely my favorite fight so far. I really liked the fighting the Hellhound as well. That was kind of fun. Not because Daniel wasn't there, but Jacob got to rescue civilians while everybody else dealt with it. That was kind of fun. I liked. It was me figuring out how I was going to play Jacob again, and
I feel like a reintroduction is always a good one.
Also, side note, I just realized that Seamus's shade would be just Seamus.
no shade miss.
Seamus.
It would be Seamus.
Seamus. No, it's just Seamus. Yeah. Stutter. Just
I
Seamus.
like shade better.
Shademus. That just sounds like an evil Christmas.
Exactly. No, that's Krampus.
That's true. That is Krampus.
Krampus
but-
is evil Santa Claus.
Sorry, it'd be a dark Christmas.
That's so Krampus.
Well, not like evil. I mean, in terms of like light, it's just shaded.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna ask this one I did interrogate Caroline and Jonas about it very heavily. Actually, I had a lot more questions around this, so I will ask this one. According to you and your player, if the answers differ, you and your character, what would the ideal outcome regarding Kokera and the king and Karyobasi? That is a lot of fucking K's. I'm sorry. Yeah. Does anyone need to go? You think you can work with what you got? So basically, what's the ideal outcome of Kokera?
Okay.
To your characters, and then to you.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I personally want to take care of this situation. I feel like we have a bit more time to deal with it. It's just that like having it thrown on the party along with everything else that's going on, it's a lot to handle and it's hard to think. Mop wants to help out because he feels like it's like, the party's burdened because they kind of stole the king and now there's, war breaking loose instantly because we were trying to, have people for our war. And I think Mop was just thinking that he could kill two birds with one stone and just kind of fix the country along, or like right some wrongs, and then also get them on our side to help us with the battle. But I don't know how that's going to happen. We're definitely going to have to fight him. But I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle type of thing. I don't want to deal with it first.
That's a good perspective. Mine, on the other hand, not quite that. Neither of my characters, Ambrose or Jacob, have ever been like super political or anything like that. But Jacob is a little bit more political, I think. He believes that he wants to help. He definitely wants to help, but he doesn't know if it's his place. So he's just kind of following along with what the party's general consensus is. Ambrose, on the other hand, he does not think it is our problem. He wants to help the king because he's the one that brought the shade, and the shade is what took the king. But he wants to help the king and then let them solve their own problems about their country, because this is not where they're from. They're in completely different rules, like different land, everything's different. This is not his country. So he doesn't want to interfere too much because that is their decision, their say, their choices. So he wants to go back. He really wants to go back to his country right now because he spent way too long away from home.
That's a good point. I think that's also what's like affecting my thought is that like even though it's not like our place we're butting in basically, it's still like the hero mindset that's just trying to be like, we gotta help out whether it's our home or not type of thing. Like there are people in danger that he feels like he needs to save type of thing.
Do you feel like not handling Kokera will affect the Doors of Death?
Oh.
Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about the Doors of Death. We've been dealing with Karyobasi. I've been dealing with the Silent Realm. Now the Shade. There's just been so many issues. The Doors of Death have not been number one for me. Oh gosh. All right. I don't think it will really affect it. I mean, it's Kokera. The doors are opening in Arbale, right? Is it generally Uniforta somewhere in Uniforta, or is it specifically Arbale?
I think it's Arbale. I think that's where it was. Where we were told.
But yeah, you should have seen. I know it's not uploaded yet, but Caroline Jonas' response to this.
Isn't it uploaded?
Oh, it is. It is. Thank you. But Purple added with the combination of chaos being amplified in Kokera. I think the response is sorry, and the response kind of muddled again. So with chaos going up and the Doors of Death opening, how do you?
Oh no!
Oh, that's right. Chaos.
He's a chaos demon. We can't have this.
He's
sorry. Chaos. Why did I think of that?
Oh, he got up again.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what it was with Caroline and Jonas. Yeah, how do you feel about the Chaos Demon and then the situation in Kokera? If you don't solve Kokera, Chaos is going to be real bad.
We're screwed. That's it. We're done for. I quit.
It's official, guys. The mob.
How do you feel about that?
I didn't. Okay, I knew. I didn't know exactly how. Personally, I knew that it would affect us later on if we didn't bother to try to solve the situation at that moment. But I didn't. I forgot about us learning that he's a chaos demon, and any type of chaos will just make him 10 times stronger.
Yeah, that's a great.
So we're kind of just like, if we don't deal with this, we're screwed. Because this is a war.
Are you willing to make a unsatisfying compromise in Kokera to lower the chaos, but to prevent Zach from getting stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a very. I figured you'd debate on that one.
It depends on
I think we should debate on this a little bit more, Steinarr.
Like it's there's not as much like detail to it. If it's a compromise, depending on what the compromise is, I think because it's gonna work on both. Like it's gonna work for us and for them as well. It's a compromise.
Oh God.
I think the big one that was suggested last week is letting Karyobasi stay in power, but if it means keeping chaos out of Kokera.
I've also encountered another issue of Shambros just causing chaos everywhere.
Yeah, that might be a problem too.
So Shambros is going to be actively making Zach strong.
Instead of Elias, could Zach be the one Shambros makes a deal with to get the others out of the lair or to get more shades out?
I don't know. I don't know if Zach will, because Zach is limited to where he can go. We've learned this because he can't enter Coilum in Hell. I don't know if that's a Hell specific thing or if that includes multiple layers. If it's treated the same way where he's not allowed in the prison. So we don't know this, but if that is the case, yeah, no, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed.
There's no recovering that. Like literally one of the most powerful beings that was locked out of Hell because they were too chaotic and evil, teaming up with the Desire Demon of Chaos. It's all over. It's all over.
I think if Karyobasi were to keep power, then the compromise would be that he would help us out with this situation that we have here back at Arbale, whatever it is. So, I mean, it could be like a temporary compromise type of thing.
It seems the party does keep a similar mindset because that was Caroline and Jonas's idea as well.
I mean, it's the only way to get it seems like at the moment it's really the only way unless we kill him. And then the chaos just kind of dies down from there.
Well, I don't know if that would slow down the chaos because we're kind of entering somebody else's country and killing someone. Like, especially since we brought somebody with blood powers into a country that banned blood powers and then we kill them. Not only did we kidnap their king, but we killed one of their people. Like, even if everybody there hates him at the moment, he still is someone that works there. So I don't think we can kill him without making things worse.
That's a good point. I like that. Yeah, we might not.
Of course you like that. You don't want to kill people.
I think that's a good solution for Mop either way.
I don't have any problem with that. You know?
Yeah, you should keep that in mind for when Wednesday starts up again. You can use that as an argument against us to be like, hey, we can't just barge into their country and murder one of their powers. Like,
all right, hold on, give me a sec. Let's pause the thing. Let me write it down.
No. All right, we got about 10 more minutes. So I want to, 5 for this question. I do want to ask Steinarr. That's something I said I would come back around to. It's just because it personally piqued my interest. Mop's original concept. What was it?
Concept?
Yeah, because you said you had original character form or original concept that got changed a lot.
I mean, he technically did. I don't think I got it.
You didn't plan for him to be like the mascot of the Misfits originally, right?
I mean,
what was that?
I don't see how anyone else could have been, to be honest.
He was a freaking meme. That was it. I didn't even expect this.
Janitor with super strength.
Exactly. I just thought it was going to be. I didn't expect it to be this long. I didn't expect us to play for so long because I'd never had anything like this dedicated.
Yeah, fair.
Like D&D.
I do think it's great how much of the meme character has become the best one so far for the Super D&D multiverse.
I mean,
Most morally sound.
and until Jacob becomes Ocean Man, then he will completely take over Jacob's status.
he takes the mantle. I mean, to be fair, it's like, what was my thought process? What was I just about to say? I feel like I was a bit more active with the character in terms of like role play as a meme, because I just was just like, I'm gonna hit this door, and I'm gonna not kill this guy or something like that.
I love that about it.
And then
that door, screw its feelings.
Yeah. But later on, like after I got more thought into it, I was just kind of like, all right, I need to think about this more. And then
do you enjoy how your character has evolved? Because it's like a very big thing when it comes to like first serious characters. There's a lot of evolution to them.
Mm-hmm. It's given me like this weird like I never really it gave me a realization how much I love making characters, and then just adding into it more, like just building them up and whatnot. So like I basically just like whenever I come up with a character idea, I get extremely excited and just draw it, and then I think about like some side stuff. All because the mob and D&D.
I do think that was a very good, joyous question to end off with, and not the fate of the party. So yeah. I'll let you both off easy with that really mellow question, unless Xuhn wants to add how he felt about his character development. I think Xuhn's been playing a little bit longer though, so this wasn't one of his first big.
After he answers, I definitely want to ask him a question as well.
So that is interesting, because I was sort of getting bored with the mentality that Daniel had. That's sort of one of the reasons why I had him go into the Silent Realm.
Yeah,
I do really like the way that the path that he's gone. I'm really excited to see how it turns out, how his personality is now. Both of my characters have gone through huge revelations from back when they were in season 1. Technically, Daniel was in season 1, right at the end of it. From that kid that just ran up there only to save his friend and followed him into hell to keep him alive. Up to when he, even in this season where he has like a life now, he's a professional hero. He killed Elias Monroe's. He's happy Monroe's. And then there's also Jacob, who in the first season sort of lived in the shadow of Mob at all times. That's the life he had, and that's the life he accepted. And then the life that he has now is a lot different as well, because he might even become a hero separate from the Mob. That's like my character. I'm probably not going to go with man, just because
I need.
I've been thinking of different. I think one of my favorite ones.
What's it called? Like JoJo does it with the like American names, or like the English names, to where it's not copyright infringed. You need like okay, so like how Ocean Man's copyright infringed, so you need a non-copyright version of it.
I don't know. I'm probably going to go with Floodgate, because that's sort of the one that's been, because he's the one that controls whether you get swept away by the rapids or not. He is the floodgate.
Fair enough. I think that is where we will be wrapping up.
One more.
Yeah, he wanted to ask me a question.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought you were asking me for one more.
Now let me ask you a question, Xuhn. All right.
So
come over to me.
Yeah.
Now I know that you like playing two characters. No, you're good. How would it feel if you were to play 3 characters? Because I'm quitting and you get to play the mop now.
Cool. So I can't wait to play 3 characters. Actually, I'm very excited.
Yeah, go for it.
I was taking heavy inspiration by Jonas back in Monday D&D, when he had 3 characters in the same room all talking to each other. I was heavily inspired by that, and I thought,
Yeah?
that, you know,
Okay.
I'm really glad to have this.
It's good. And it's showed here. I'm quitting. Goodbye. So I'm just gonna take my helmet. You know.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
Quite the reveal. Okay. Steinarr, can you hear us?
It's the silver.
Give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Steinarr. Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do the outro like this then. Thank you, Xuhn and Steinarr, for joining me tonight and answering all of the wonderful questions we had.
Before we end, though, can I just ask one? It's Carol that's editing this, right? Carol, okay, look at me. I need you to put a timer at the bottom of the screen every time Steinarr got up and walked away from his chair. Because he's did it quite often.
Listen, I like doing it. It's a bit. Look at it.
There it goes again.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right, sorry. I'm done interrupting. I'm done. Go ahead, Nano.
Thank you two for joining me tonight.
Wait, but just
and
one
answering
more question though.
Questions written by the viewers and our wonderful staff. For all people watching on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe, and also go check out Super D&D on Twitch if you want to see more of these two idiots ranting off each other. Have a good night.
Do it, or else Steinarr will crusade the Holy Land.